Of singer Jacqueline. I'm a singer, songwriter, recording artist, community psychologist, and a lover of mental health topics. You're listening into Harmony of Minds, but specifically Harmony of Minds podcast. Now, Harmony of Minds is a mental health platform that talks about mental health awareness through the creative arts. And today we are having Harmony of Mind podcast where we are talking about different arts and their struggles, their experiences, their triumphs. And today we're having an amazing and very interesting creative. He is a filmmaker, he is a producer, he does so many things, and I think he will be ready to talk about himself. He's called Kizito Samuel. Nice meeting you, Samuel.
Nice being here. I've been following the show since, and I'm happy that I'm here today under this topic that I rarely get to see or be a part of, mental health. That is so important in our field, but we normally ignore it. So yeah, it's really, really amazing to be here.
So our topic today is beyond the lens, behind the lens, beyond the struggle. And you've done a lot of work, and I have had some projects that we have worked on, or not worked on, but I have worked for him on some projects, and you have been in the business for over a decade now. How has that been?
Well, over a decade, yeah, sounds late. Yeah, interesting. It's been quite a journey of growth, learning, unlearning, and reflecting. I feel like I've been blessed to be in the film industry.
Yes.
Because I deal in the world of we make movies, we tell characters on screen, and through those characters, we learn more about ourselves because we are always reflecting what is in the real world. So as every movie you make teaches you something, changes how you think about life, and makes you a better person. So it's really been a blessing. It has put me in a position of understanding people, of not being judgmental. Like it's really, really amazing. Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Talking about the projects that you've worked on, and let's first talk about Forbidden. Forbidden was a groundbreaking project that you worked on. It got so many nominations. It got the impact that it needed to get. Tell me if you can tell us more about like the behind the scenes. What was the experience? And did you also expect the reception that it got, the recognition that it got?
I didn't really expect the reception the film got.
Yes.
Because in the beginning, it was more of, like you tell a story and you're only focusing on telling the truth of that story. Because when I got into the project, I had just done my first film as a director. That was 2015. It came out 2016. So the job for The Forbidden came around late 2016, early 2017. And it's a movie that the producer had done before, but it didn't come out really well. So they hired me to remake the film straight from script. They re-script it again, then make the whole film. Wow. And as I was working on the film, looking at the story, because it was 2017.
Yes.
It was not so long after I had finished school.
Yes.
So I still had the memories of how school was, high school, university, and all that. So you find that most of the elements of school that were in that story, I picked them from my real life experience that I saw growing up.
Wow.
And I was telling this story in the sense that I wanted it to be that when I tell the story and I watch it myself, it will have something to teach me about life, about parenthood, about fatherhood, and about, being a child,
Yes.
And I was making this story for, let me say, my younger self.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So I put in all the effort to make sure I am as articulate with a voice, with the characters, with what they say. The mom, the father, the little girl, Diane, who was in the story, and the brother. So I was trying to make sure that every character I put there is a representation of someone I have seen in the real world.
Wow.
So from the way they were scripted to the way they were acting on screen. I
Yes.
picked them from the real life experiences I've seen as I was growing up. So it was an easy story to understand because I had seen almost all those people.
Yes.
I picked some of the things from my mom,
Oh,
from my
wow.
siblings, and all that, put them together and building these characters to
Yes,
make them
yes.
feel alive. And on set, I was only telling a story I love to see.
Wow.
So I wasn't looking at an awards or accolades or festivals or anything.
Yeah.
I was imagining people watching this movie in the theater or in the cinema and feeling touched by
Resonating.
it,
Wow.
resonating with it. So that's what I was looking out for. And when the film was finished, I was excited to have the people watch it, especially students.
Yes.
And yeah, the premiere was really good, a good success. But what happened after the premiere is what blew my mind, because that's a film I did without any expectations, and it went beyond just Uganda to all over the world.
Wow.
That it's a movie that has received over, I think, over 30 or over 40 awards all over the world,
Wow.
and close to 100 nominations.
Wow.
So, like from the year 2018 when we premiered the film,
yes.
all the way throughout until the end of 2019.
We're still getting
nominations, awards. We used to fly from one country to another, one country to another. And it was amazing seeing different worlds or different people, different territories appreciating this film.
Wow.
That sometimes there are some museums or institutions that call me on a live when they are actually showing this movie to their communities. Because of how they felt it was reflecting an African child who goes to school and faces all these tragedies. And the way people reflect with the story made me feel like, oh, wow, cinema can actually have this much power. So from the beginning, I was only trying to be authentic with the story. And as it kept on going, it went beyond me. I think to date, it's the movie that I've worked on that is still the most appreciated and the most successful film. Yeah, even in terms of making sales, the producer made her money back and made profits from it. Like, it's really amazing that even till now, because this year, the movie was done in 2017, but this year it was showing in the US during the Bantu Fest there. It was the first film to screen during that event. And it's amazing. Like, it's really, really, humbling to see that this movie that was done out of love and passion went on to make that success, because I was doing it for the love of storytelling and the love of being authentic with what I'm putting on screen. And yeah, I'm really proud of the film.
Wow. Yeah. Talking about storytelling and the projects that you've worked on, including Forbidden, Nkwanzi, and so many more, Tembele, is there a project, is there a film that you have worked on and it fully resonates with you? You look at it and you're like, okay, now, apart from obviously Forbidden, because you've told us that, but is there like another film that really resonates with you when you look and listen and you watch it? Is there something that it pulls, an emotion that it brings out in you?
I want to look through my filmography. I did Njeko, then The Forbidden, then I did Kemi's, the film that came after that.
Yes.
I feel Kemi could be that film as well.
Wow.
There are others, but Kemi, reason being, it was the last, I want to say this, it was the last sad movie I worked on that I wish to never do another sad movie like that.
Yes.
Because it's a movie of misfortunes. I don't know, there is a movie that has been trending called Straw by Tyler Perry. In Kemi, the character was going through so many misfortunes, like how you saw Straw happening. But this was from a Ugandan, African, local perspective.
Yes.
And it was trying to evoke the emotion of sometimes the decisions we make in life can lead to life going so bad that things can just keep getting worse. Yes, you can have the hope of maybe things will get better, but every decision you make today will affect you tomorrow, because it was a story whereby the tragedies of the woman started from her going in to be with a man without being officially married.
Oh,
So all the problems she faced after that was a result of you
that
got this man,
decision.
you're not married to this man, but you're being
Yes.
with them, you're having a child with them, and then
Yes.
that man, God takes the man, and then family now gets to treat you like you're
You're
not anybody.
nothing. Yes.
And then
Yes.
she faced problem after problem, problem after problem. Uh, when people watch this film in the cinema, when I was telling that story, I was trying to also go deeper into the situation of how worse can problems get. So the same intention, the same intensity I had when I was working on Kemi, it is the
Yes.
same intensity I used when I was telling this story.
Yes.
Still, I picked a few things that I could have seen, and a few elements that I could borrow from the research and from the producer, of course. And in the end, when people came to the cinema to watch this film, I had people come out of the cinema, and the few that I really got to talk to, because the film premiered in 2020 before COVID lockdown happened
Yes.
in Bahrain and all that. And people were telling me how the movie made them so sad that they cried and they got depressed.
Wow.
So I was like, dang.
Wow.
I was like, this is not what I want people to feel again.
Yes.
I don't want them to leave the cinema feeling like
Depressed.
this was too sad.
Yes. Yes.
So I was like, no, that was the wake up moment to be like, people should walk out of the cinema feeling good about what they have just watched.
Yes. Yes.
So that switched my mind about telling stories since. That's like every movie that I've done after that has always been either having a happy ending or a lighter touch to it, because I realized the world is so messed up already. You don't have to bring more depression to the people when they're watching the film. Yeah, the film also got successful. It won some awards as well. I think it has like over a dozen awards and some 30-something nominations.
Yes.
It went to cinema.
Wow,
It
that
went,
is something. You're saying it so casually. Like, that's a big deal.
yeah, no, like casually, because I'm used to the nominations and awards.
Wow,
like
wow.
they are not special anymore.
Yes.
But when you're starting, they are so
They're
special.
special,
When you get so many awards and so many nominations, it starts to feel normal.
Becomes normal, yeah.
So now you start to tell films because you want to communicate, not to win anything.
Yes.
So it also got its success, got to distribution. I think even the producer made back her money as well. That one was, the next one, that was 2020.
Yes.
Yeah, I could talk about that one as well.
Wow. It's so interesting how film, or even the creative in general, but today we're talking about film. It's so interesting how film tells stories and how it evokes an emotion for someone to go and watch, and then they come out, like, you see these other actors. You know, when it's Hollywood, you've not seen these people in person.
Yeah.
And there is no that relationship with the work as it being emotional. But when it is our fellow actors and our fellow, Ugandans, them looking at a film and they feel like an emotion is evoked. I think film is so powerful, and I'm glad that you're now thinking about it, about using film in the positive way, so that even when you're portraying a message that is a negative, from a negative context, you make it a bit light, a little bit fun.
Exactly.
Wow, that's interesting. So I understand you're a mentor, you're a teacher in the film industry, I guess in Choto and also in UNCC.
Yeah.
Is there like a mentee or a student that has had certain work that has made you feel so proud, and how have you worked with those emotions of pride, and how have you helped those mentees and the students that you have worked with?
Well, there are a number of them. I don't have to mention anyone's name.
Yes.
Because some of them don't want to be mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. For the 10 years I've been in the industry, I've mentored people that have won awards even at UFF internationally and all that. Some of them have become successful producers or directors, writers, including my partner. I mentored her into writing, and now she's amazing. She's a brilliant writer that
she is.
I could trust her with any story. She does an amazing job.
Yes.
She has won stuff. She's still making amazing things.
Yes.
She even wrote a script which is taking me to Durban this July,
Wow.
called The Most High. Um, whenever I share something with somebody, I always don't look so much at myself,
Yes.
but what do they do with the knowledge that they receive? Because my goal is I share some of my, I usually call it power, some of my, because knowledge is power, so
Yes,
some of my
yes.
power with somebody else, so they could use
Yes,
it to
yes.
improve themselves and serve the world. Because these skills, these talents we have of telling stories, we exist with these powers. They're given to us by God,
Yeah.
so we could use them as instruments of change, of transformation,
Yes,
to
true.
transform other people's lives. So every story that they tell, I hope it's impacting
Yeah.
the world in one way or the other.
Yes.
So all the time, like most of them, even to date, I still talk to them. They're not only in Uganda. I've met people who are in Tanzania, who are in South Africa, who are in Nigeria, who are in Ghana, and even in Europe, that are still
Wow.
doing what they're
Wow.
doing, and they're serving their industry, and it makes me happy whenever I see
Wow.
them do more. Like whenever I see a film or an article written about this filmmaker that I've mentored in one way or the other, it makes me feel happy that, oh, they're using the torch to light the world.
Yes,
And
yes.
that's more of our job, you know.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. It's amazing. Okay. I'm also getting to know more. I thought I knew director because I've heard more about him from obviously your partner
Yeah.
and the people that you've worked with. But I'm getting to know more, and like I told you, I want to know too.
Yeah.
So you have publicly, talked about many films in Uganda, films that are made by Ugandans,
Yeah.
and you've talked about how sometimes they do not fit the audience expectations.
Yeah.
And as someone that is into film, who promotes films, who is into mentoring and being a leader to filmmakers, don't you think that sometimes could backfire on you as a professional filmmaker?
Yeah.
And also, how have you like dealt with maybe scrutiny from maybe other filmmakers that are saying, oh, you're bashing our work, you also a filmmaker, why should you be doing this? How have you dealt with that?
Yeah, it's interesting. I began my career in film as a critic.
Yes.
So I used to have a blog. I used to criticize films, and I used to talk about movies, you know.
Yes.
And what used to happen then was I was having the knowledge of criticism and trying to understand how film works.
Yes.
And I would talk about different movies thoroughly, and people, the filmmakers themselves, would feel bad about it. But then after observing what I say, it was always maybe right in one way or the other, and they could take that in. You know, it hurts, but they take it in.
Yeah.
But what is happening currently is that, okay, I'm no longer criticizing films openly anymore.
Yes.
But what is happening is that a filmmaker will make a film and they release a trailer. The trailer is brilliantly amazing. And you're like,
Yes,
wow, I got to rally up behind this film, you know.
Yeah.
Then you try to, promote their trailer, you try to put it out there, you
Yes.
believe it's going to represent you guys as an industry.
Yes.
And then you get to the cinema, you're watching this movie, and the trailer was the best part of the film, you know. Yeah. And oftentimes, if you
Yes.
called a variety of people to come and
Yes.
actually watch this film,
Yes.
and they're not happy,
Wow.
then it gets to you, like it gets to you that you called me to a poor
Yes,
premiere, you called me to a
yes.
poor screening.
Wow.
So that has brought some bit of fear in
Yeah.
most of us that really trying to share other people's works. So oftentimes you may want to share a piece of somebody if they have called you in a pre-screening that you've watched what they're going to put out. So you can
Yes.
praise whatever they're going to put out, because you praise something, you bring someone who would have come to another event, they get
Wow.
disappointed, and they're like,
Yeah.
never to come to your events again.
Yes.
So it's a thing that I don't know the easy solution, but I think the filmmakers who are planning to make movies, they should save us and try to do their best. Yeah, they save us and don't do their best.
Yes.
Yes, their best could be that
That-
substandard
yeah.
work,
Yes.
but even before you release a movie, consult from people,
Yes.
have pre-screenings, and have you can call me, you can call anyone who you believe is really has a good eye for detail,
Yes. Yes.
and they watch the movie for you and they tell you where you should touch bits here and there, because
But sometimes maybe we could look into growth. What if it's like their first project? How can they, come from that? Whereby
yeah
it's their first project, they do not know so many people in the industry,
yeah
and then as they keep on moving, they start to
yeah
get to know you and other.
to anyone who is watching this and you're starting your first project, I hope many people get to watch this.
Yes.
If it's your first project, learn this and learn it today. The industry is open, that you can look for filmmakers, you can look for film hubs or film groups. Ask them, I'm having a project I want to start. Which people do you recommend me to actually reach out to help me get better so that my first art piece becomes good? You may not have the money to hire me to direct your film or work with you on your project, but you will call me on your project as a consultant.
Yes.
Why are you calling me as a consultant? For me to tell you the mistakes that I made or that we have made, so you
Yes.
can correct them. You don't have to afford a filmmaker who is top,
Yes.
but you
yes.
only can have them as consultants. If you tell them, I want to consult from you about my script, sometimes it could cost you, yeah, but seek for consultancy, seek for mentorship, even if it's your first. Don't be there and be like, it's my first film, let me do it anyhow. You have access to the knowledge. Okay, you
Yeah.
can Google and you can use YouTube. Maybe you can't learn better with Google and YouTube. Look for us, the filmmakers. Come to our spaces where you hear a workshop, any gathering. Film Club Uganda happens at National Theatre every Tuesday evening. Go there, ask them, I want to make a movie. Which people can you recommend me to?
Yes.
Then note, if they recommend you to somebody, do a background check about them. Google about them and see what have they done before and what is being said about them. Because someone can tell you right here that, yo, I'm the best at this game, but when their CV and reputation doesn't speak like that. So
Yes.
if someone tells you they are good at what they do, then seek for proof that they are good. Even if I tell you
Yes.
that, yeah, I'm good, I will help you with your script, I have to prove that I've had experience in that and I've had some success in that for you to trust me. But seek for consultation, seek for mentorship, because even if it's your first film, it is no excuse for it to be bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So like in Uganda, we have issues of limited resources, especially when it comes to film.
Yeah.
Because you've talked about if an artist, if a filmmaker is, if someone that wants to make a film wants to do something, they should reach out. And us having these limited resources in
Yeah.
Uganda, I believe so, and you nodding your head, you're confirming. But is there like a time where you had a project be limited with resources, maybe actors,
Yeah.
money? How did you handle this so that it doesn't, crumble completely to the ground?
Now, here's the funny thing, eh?
Yes.
Every film has had that.
Oh wow.
Every film I've worked on has never had enough money,
Wow.
has never had enough resources. Some of them you're lucky enough that they come out, some of them you're lucky enough that they don't. But normally, what I usually say is that as a filmmaker, you have to teach yourself the discipline of working within the means. If you know that your resources are limited, then go back to your script and see what can you achieve with your resources.
Yeah.
Look at your network, your social network.
Yes.
If you know somebody who has something that you can get, that helps you. So the resources you have could be the money you have in cash, the connections you have. Because, for instance, you could come to me and I'm charging you millions and millions for a certain service. And then, but then there is somebody else, I don't know you, so I'll charge you my millions, but there is someone else that I know who I can actually go and I work with at almost nothing because
Wow.
of the network I have with that person.
Yes, yes, yes.
So look, like build a network.
Yes.
If you know this person can lead me to this person, get this person on board to your project. Someone can actually come and make me a producer of their project when they don't actually need my producing skill, but all they need is the network I have.
Yes.
They know
yes.
if I have someone Saviour on my project,
I have
I'll
so
get
and
this
so.
one, I'll get this one, I'll get this one, even if I don't have as much resources. So
Wow.
there are never enough resources. You will never have enough money. But the thing is, what you have, what can it do? If you don't know what you have can do, I said it again, consultation. Before you do the first step of making your film, look for someone and tell them, okay, I want to make this film. How much do you think it will cost me and why? Most times producers come to me when they want to hire me and they have a small budget. And I don't want to tell them that, oh, you need these, tens and tens of
Yes.
millions. I just draw the plan of their project for them on paper. I'm like, okay, normally these are the costs for this, these are the costs for this, the cost for this. This is how you can counter this, how you can counter that. So I show them the realistic expenses that they would
Yes.
actually need at the lowest minimums. So when someone can show you the realistic things that are, okay, you need to spend on this, spend on this, spend on this, then you know, okay, I need food worth $1 million shillings. Then you're like, can I get food for free from somebody? You've saved yourself $1 million. I need equipment worth 20 million. Do I have a friend who can actually provide me with equipment? And I give them 5.
Yes.
Then you need actors worth this. Do you have a way you can get
Friends,
actors
yeah.
that can work on a few facilitations and then later compensation? You need a crew of around, let me say, 15 people. Can you work with 10? Can you work with 7? So it's more about you knowing what do you need and how can you counter that. So normally when you consult, maybe before I work with a producer, I first draw for them a budget. And I'm like, you say you want to spend, let me say 70 million, but me, I think you need 200 million. Then I have to draw for you what your 70 million can do. And what more. I'm saying 70 million not to scare people. It will actually be less, but I'm using that as,
Yes.
I don't want to use a less figure
Yes.
that would, strangle you in the neck. But people have spent less than that on a project.
Yes.
So I draw it for them, and then they see the realisticness of achieving things, and the unknowns also come there. When you consult, you save yourself from spending so much. When you don't consult, you go with your 10 million, and the project will not see the light. Or it will see the light, but you will not be happy to show it to people. Or when you show it to people, you will be the ones who will be taking our audience away to Western Hollywood films. Yeah.
Actually, consultation is key when it comes to film and even creativity. I remember the first projects that I worked on personally. I spent too much because I did not consult. I just went with whoever came, and you spend too much. But now that even the networking, the people that you worked with before, they're like, no, don't worry, let me just pay for the camera alone, my fee. You don't need to pay for my fee. There are those things that networks, I think bring in. Yeah, and yeah, I totally agree. Not that even if I don't agree, it doesn't matter. But I totally agree. But again, you've had many of your works in film festivals and many places that that love to see the work that you have done. And the question is there like a way, is there like a time you compromised your creativity or your filmmaking skill to fulfill maybe the requirements of a specific festival or the requirements of a specific entry to these films?
Really, I haven't done that because every story that I tell comes from the need for me to tell that story.
Oh, wow.
So oftentimes I don't look at which festival do I want to go to.
Yes.
I look at what story do I want to tell and who is going to watch it. That is the audience. So I make that story tailored for that audience. So these festivals or platforms come in as by the ways, like in case, because I'm like, I'll make a movie that I know, I'll take it to the cinema.
Yes.
So the compromise that I will have is, will Media Council okay my film? So the compromise we have in Uganda is do what Media Council will allow. So there are some themes you will not have in your film because Media Council or the rules of Uganda will not allow you to tell such a story.
Okay.
Those are the compromises you can actually have. But besides that, it's usually more about, will the audience consume this? The audience, I hope, is it a school?
Yes.
Is it grown-ups? Is it whatever? So it's usually that. I haven't been a person who does a film to be like, I want to go to this festival. This is what they normally take. Let me make that. It's more about, what story do I have that I want to tell? And can I afford to tell that story at that time? Then I tell that story. So because I know one thing, you tell your story authentically so well, the world will receive it. Yeah, like I don't put those limitations on me to be like, I have to do this. I'm like, no, if the story demands me to do it in a certain way, I'll not compromise for the other platform. I'm like, because at the end of the day, we make these movies for what? For people to watch.
Yeah,
so if people can watch my film, that is the thing. Like,
Oh.
do I have a cinema where I'm going to show it from? Do I have a platform where I'm going to show it from? Do people access it? That is the first.
Wow, you've had it from the filmmaker himself. A decade of experience. Do your work authentically. Let it be your story. Let it be for the people, not for the industry, not for the festivals. Whew, okay, director. I'm sorry, I still call you director because I met you as a director. But when it comes to the hats that you wear, you're a filmmaker, you're cinematographer, you're into mentoring and all of these other things. Which is that hat that gives you the fullest gratification, and which is that hat that you're like, if I can pass this today? Which is that whereby you're like, I cannot wait to be in these shoes? Or that hat that you can be like, I pray they postponed or something?
I think the hat of a director.
Wow.
Yeah, because that's where my heart is. Directing films, like, I'm so passionate about the process of that.
Why so?
Why so is because the director leads the key creative.
Oh.
And I joined film because I got to realize that with film, you are like a god.
Wow.
You can create a world, put in creatures, and breathe life into them and make them live in that world on screen.
Wow.
And more powerfully, you're going to find that the world you create now has power to change or manipulate the emotions and thoughts of the person going to watch what you put on screen. So cinema gives me power to manipulate your emotions, to make you feel things, to make you think things, to make you. That's why you see the should I say this? The CIA, they invested so much in Hollywood to use Hollywood to brainwash everybody.
Wow.
So there is a way we see America now, that when you go there, it's different. But when you watch it on the films, you're like, that's my dream country. You get. It's like the land of dreams or something. The American dream, you get. But when you get there, the dream is a nightmare, you get. But then on screen, in movies that we watch, everyone wants to be in America. You get. So they used cinema to brainwash people. You get, because that's the power it has. So, and who does that? The director has the utmost power to enforce that to happen. So it makes me feel gratified that I can be able to communicate to people. I can be able to, because if I was just, let me see, if I was doing camera operation, it has its limitations. Writing has its limitations. Let me say, editing that I do as well has limitations. But directing works with all these together. Like, it informs their decisions in one way or the other, because it's the vision of the director that the movie usually follows. And yeah, like, I feel happier being in control of these key creative elements to create the believable world that will enforce emotions, perspectives. So it's that's what it is.
Okay. So what's now the one that you do not that is not more satisfactory?
That I do.
Yes.
That I feel like this, I would have not done it.
Yeah.
I think producing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I would
Why?
rather have someone else produce
Mm,
than I do the other key creative things. I
mm,
think it's producing, yes, because I am so creative in mind, and producing is so creative, but in a logistical sense.
mm.
And yeah, I have a business mind to a certain degree, but then I'd rather have someone else do that than I do the creative.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah.
Talking about that, when you think of the moments that you've had in film for a decade or even more, um, what is that moment that you can recollect that brings joy and gratification, or the moment that brings disappointment? I don't know, it could be about, whichever you're still saying.
Um, the moment that makes me feel like, yeah, that was the moment I directed my first film called Bonjako, and I got the first nomination. It was called Best Feature Film by a Director, Best First Feature by a Director. It was an African Magic, Africa Movie Academy Awards in Nigeria.
Okay.
So that was I think the first international nomination I got for directing my first film. And then the Amas team at the time, I don't know if they still do it nowadays. They flew me to Nigeria to attend the event. I didn't spend a coin.
Wow.
So all I had at a time, it was like, you're broke and shit as as a filmmaker, and all you have is your passport.
Yes.
Uh,
Documents alone.
all I had to have was my passport and get myself to the airport at
Oh,
Entebbe. That's all I
wow.
had to do. So
Wow.
everything else was catered for them. At that time, the visa was $2 actually. I paid $2 for the visa. Right now, it's $100 though.
Oh, wow.
So I went to Nigeria at a fully paid trip because I was a filmmaker who made a movie.
Wow.
So, and I was in this room, that was 2017. I was in this room, Ramza Noah is there. All these people that I
Wow.
grew up watching on these Nigerian movies on, Rico TV and
Mm.
all that, like you're seeing all these
They're
legends
there before
in the
you.
same room. You're sitting in the same, because the nominees are put in a certain,
Wow.
VIP section, and you're all there together and you're looking at them like live, and you're like,
Yeah, yeah.
is this really happening? Because I
Wow.
couldn't believe it. And I was like, so film can take someone this far.
Yes.
Like, it was so surprising because at the time I was like, I wasn't so sure. Am I in this film
Yeah.
industry? Am I not? And then I'm like, I think I really gotta stay here because if I can be appreciated like this
Yes,
because I made a
yes.
movie that is not even the best there is in the world, then
Yes.
what happens if I make a greater one?
Yeah.
Then I came back and guess what? I made The Forbidden,
Wow,
and it
wow.
became something. So that moment, me flying to Nigeria, was that moment that made me be like, oh,
Wow.
I think I should really do this for real. Yeah, that was the moment. The regretful moment, do I have? I usually forget the negative things that I encounter in life because I'm a positive
Positive
person.
person,
So
yes.
I end up forgetting the things that are really downsides. I always end up remembering the recent ones. Yeah, because it feels like I've had a good time throughout the experience, even if they've been downsides.
Yes,
I
yes.
took them as lessons. Like every time I
Yeah.
have a setback, it looks like a lesson to me
Yes, yes.
than me being there and I beat myself. Oh my God, this has
Yes.
fallen. You
Well,
know,
that's
yeah,
having a very good perspective to life.
yeah,
People that are always constantly. Actually, I learned that from you when we were doing in Kwanzi,
yeah,
and you're like you're talking about certain experiences that could have made me feel like my world was crumbling. You're like, oh, that there's no AC in the car, and then you're all sweating, and I'm like, what? And I was like, wow, you're talking you're talking about it as if it was, who cares?
yeah.
And
Because
I went with that. I
yeah,
also have that kind of like attitude of who cares? Like,
yeah.
I'm going through
There
this.
is a thing that as long as you're still breathing,
Yes.
like
Preach.
that's what matters. As long as you're
Yes.
still breathing,
Yes.
tomorrow can always be a better day.
Yes.
So oftentimes I'm like, okay, today is not good, but maybe the next hour or tomorrow things are going to turn around. So I live like that. Like every day, it will be
Wow.
tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow.
Wow.
So I
Wow.
live on the hope of things will get better. Let me just be doing what I can do than beating myself up for whatever is going astray right now. And that has kept me sane because I haven't really reached a moment where I'm like, oh, I am so depressed.
Yes.
I beat myself. I'm like, okay, I'll get depressed for like 2 minutes. Then I'm like, oh, get back in the mood. And then, yeah, I have that quick, how do I call it? It's a reflex in me that kicks me back into my sanity.
Yes, yes.
Whenever I'm trying to get sad because I am like, yo, so you get sad, then what?
Wow.
Are you going to change
Actually,
it? Yeah.
talking about that, for example, if a project has not performed the way you expect,
Yeah.
in sales, in okay, I don't want to say nominations because to you, you know, but mainly let me say in sales, how do you recuperate? Do you like get to the next project? Solitude? Do you go out and you know, like go maybe to Dubai or something? How do you deal with that?
Where you go for holiday? Have I gone for a holiday? I don't know if I have. My holidays are still film, like I
Work.
film things. I will travel to another country. I chill
Yes.
as I do film things.
Oh wow.
I haven't really gotten a break. I don't have a reason to have a break. I haven't done anything yet that makes me feel like, oh, I should take a break. I feel like I haven't achieved anything. But um, every time I make a movie, it comes out like from the moment I start making the movie, it's teaching me lessons.
Yes.
So by the time I finish the film, it is premiered, it's released, it takes a year, maybe in festivals, in the cinema, or whatever. I usually take 1 year to make another film.
Oh.
Like each film, I give it a full year
Full, yeah.
because I give myself enough time to learn, enough time to reason,
Yes.
enough time to grow. Because if I rush to another one, I pick no lessons from the previous ones. So I do this film, I wait for the feedback, I see the failures, I am like, okay, I walked this path the other time
Yes.
and I made a mistake, so I should change this time around. I do this, or I want to experiment this. So it's always a learning process. I don't always be like, let me just be producing movies like a rabbit.
Yes.
I just be like, okay, I made this film.
Yes.
What was the impact? Did I achieve the goal? If I
Yes.
didn't achieve, I'm like, okay, then I have to do the same process again because I didn't hit the goal for the impact I wanted. It's usually more about impact on the audiences, basically. These other achievements of has it made some money, has it gotten an award, they are more like rewards, I think. Like if you make a good film and you make it accessible, usually the rewards are going to be the money and the awards and all that. So if you don't get them, it means there is something you didn't learn somewhere. And there is a, you know, they say that whenever we're coming into this world, into this earth,
Yes.
we always we sign an agreement of life. And the first agreement we sign is we shall forget whatever we know. So you come as babies, and we agree that we are going to be going through lessons.
Yes.
And they're not mistakes in life, they are lessons.
Yeah, true.
So they say a lesson, you only change to another lesson if you've mastered this one. So if you realize that you're repeating the same mistakes, it means that you haven't learned from that mistake. So they say there is no mistakes in life, only lessons, and you only go to the next lesson after mastering this one.
Yes.
So if I end up hitting the same rocks with the films I make, it means I haven't learned the lesson. So it's until I have learned the lesson that I will upgrade.
Okay.
So I take enough time to see which mistakes I made. I use them as learning points to improve. Yeah.
Oh wow, wow. I'm learning a lot right now. I'm learning a lot. But you have been involved in the Uganda Academy Selection Committee.
Yeah.
And even personally, on your social medias, I've seen you being in mentorship programs by UFF and UNCC projects in connection to film. So you've shaped your own path when it comes to film, and as that also has shaped the industry as well, the film industry as well.
Yeah.
Do you think this weighs heavy on you? Do you think this is a responsibility that is a heavy load for you as an
Uh,
individual?
well, I have a mindset. They say the value of life is to love and to share. Um, I tend to believe that I was put on this earth to
Yes.
love and to share,
Yes.
and through sharing there is service.
Yes.
So if I spend a day without serving, then I'm wasting my time.
Wow.
So I feel like it's not that it's a responsibility, but I feel like I should live as I serve because
Yes.
time is limited. Tomorrow I'll be gone, and what will I leave behind? So when I serve, I'm releasing a bit of my energy, a bit of my power to the world for the world
Wow.
to use it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if I don't, if God has given me power, power, I mean the skills, the
The
talent,
knowledge.
the
Yes.
effort, the knowledge, the wisdom, if God has
Yes.
given me that, it's not to keep it, to give it out. So if I get any thought in mind of something I can do that could help the industry in one or the other, or the country or the world, I'll do it.
Wow.
So I'll do so much more. I don't get overwhelmed. I'll do so much more until I can't do
Can't do it
anything
anymore.
anymore.
Wow.
So and that will be when I'm gone. So when I am gone, I'll so even if I went today, I'll be happy
Wow. Because
because
you
because I have
fulfill.
served.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I want to keep serving because every day I get, every month I get, it's more time to keep doing, to keep serving the world. As I serve the world, I end up serving myself unknowingly,
Wow.
So that's how I see it. So I be like, every day I live more of what am I doing for me? What am I doing for the world?
Yes. Yes.
So I do what I do for me and my family. What am I doing for the world as well? And that's where those establishments come in, the workshops, the what, because I feel I feel like it's better doing that than
Yes.
chilling at home or going for a holiday and I chill, breathe in good air, and I smile, I eat some good food,
Yes.
and I look at life and I'm
And you're
like,
like,
I'm
what
doing
have
nothing.
I?
I'm like, okay, I
Yes.
feel like there I'm wasting time.
True,
Yeah,
true,
my
true.
holiday is serving.
Wow,
Yeah,
wow.
I feel it. I feel it that way.
It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing that even when you bring it to the aspect of mental health, is it makes you feel mentally balanced.
Yes, because if you do something good for somebody
Yes.
and they're happy,
Yes.
there is some gratitude it gives you.
Wow.
You understand?
Wow.
And when you get that gratitude, it helps your mental health. You get a bit
Yes.
relieved of stress.
Yes, that's true.
People who don't do anything for the world are
The
always
most
depressed.
depressed, yeah.
You get,
True, true.
sorry to say, the rich men, the wealthy people. Yeah, they're the most
Yes.
depressed people because they're always in their big mansions.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why you see most people that are rich, they end up doing community
Work for that,
projects,
yes.
involved with the youth and all that because they feel that will make them feel alive.
Yes,
What does
yes.
that tell you? Serving brings gratitude and gratitude
Yes.
makes you better.
Yes.
So if you're depressed, do something good for somebody else. You'll see how you will change.
Wow.
But yeah, but
I
if
truly concur.
if you're looking
Wow.
out, you're depressed and all you're doing is serving yourself, like I'm depressed, let me go eat a pizza. You may not be happy.
Yeah.
You get,
Yeah.
but you're
Yeah.
depressed, do something nice for somebody
Yes.
and
Yes.
see how they appreciate you. That will
Yes.
add something to you.
Wow.
So serve yourself and serve the
And
world. You
serve the
see how you
world.
get better. And that's why I'm really stressed by that because I live a day of service every time.
Service.
So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
makes me feel gratitude that there is someone to be who is always thankful about what I am doing
Yes.
for them. And
Yes.
I'm also feeling like, okay, I've used the energy or the power that I was given to do something positive.
Yes.
And yeah,
Yes.
it relieves me of stress a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So if a young filmmaker came to you and they were like, I want to join the industry, but then I'm afraid the system may
Yeah.
break me, what would you tell them?
What I would tell them, brutally honest, everything will break you in this world, not the
True.
system. Everything will
Yes.
break you. The world is there to break you. Now, it's now upon you. How ready are you?
Yes.
So when you know the world is going to break me, what is that going to do? You're going to armor yourself up for the
Yes.
world. It's more like going to a room when you know they're going to abuse you. You're ready for it.
Yes.
So whatever
yes.
they say,
You've
it
had
won't
it.
get to you
Yes.
because you're ready for that.
Wow.
So you come in the industry like the industry is going to break me, but I won't let it. I'll stand strong because I know what I want. So what do you want? I want to be a filmmaker. What do you want to be a filmmaker? Every time someone comes to me,
I'm a
I
dad.
usually ask them, what do you want to be a filmmaker? So what they answer oftentimes tells me, what they answer oftentimes tells me, are they meant for this or they're not? So if your purpose to be in the industry is greater than yourself, then and you're ready to face this whole breaking system,
Yes.
it means that no matter what someone does, you will not fall.
Yes.
Even if you fall, you will stand up and keep moving until you find somebody who will hold you on your hand. Because to be honest, success sometimes is given. And what every individual needs is that someone who will hold you
Yes.
and take you somewhere.
Wow.
I don't have people that I think held me, but I believe when you have a mentor per se, a mentor is like someone who's going to hold you and take you somewhere. So keep walking in, come to us, the filmmakers, go to the sessions, let me saw a film club, try to be in the environment that has the same spirit as what you want to do, and keep on pursuing, keep on consulting, keep on asking questions, keep on researching, keep on learning. So along that journey, you're ready for a broken system, so it will not break you. As you keep moving, you start to master your own path.
Footing, yes.
Yeah, so you start to now make your own steps because you've learned the system, you've learned the ground you're standing on. Before you know the ground you're standing on, you will not stand well. But if you learn the ground you're standing on, I know that it's there to break you, you start to persevere. So me, I came in this industry not knowing that it was even broken or whatever in one way, but then me, I just think I was like, I'm here to do what I want to do. And I'm not giving anyone the power over me. I'm holding my own power.
Yes.
Let them just tell me what I need to know, but I'm holding my own power. So the problem is that most people are raised in a way that they depend on others.
Yes.
We are raised in a way that we depend on peer groups, and peer pressure. You always have to rely on someone's opinion to do what you want.
Yes.
And that's really absurd. I pray that people try to teach themselves the power of reasoning with an independent mind. Because without an independent mind, you're not going to be having so much power over yourself because you always want to know what someone else thinks. Now, me, I was raised in a way that made me feel like I was enough. So me, I didn't have peer groups or peer pressure or whatever. My parents made me feel like I was enough by myself. So they made me not rely on anyone for anything. So that was an advantage for me that I came into this world raised in a way that even if someone doesn't like me, it doesn't do anything to me. Even if someone says whatever, it doesn't do anything to me. Even if someone bullies me, it doesn't do anything to me. Like I was always made to feel like I'm okay. I'm enough. There is nothing wrong with me. So that helped me. But some people are not like that. So you have to, when you know that, okay, I rely on other people, then try to find the ways, find a mentor who can teach you how to be independent in your mind. That will save you a great deal.
Oh, our time is fast spent. We are really remaining with some few minutes. But before we go to a segment that is very precious to the show, when all is said and done, how do you hope that the name Kizito Samuel Xavier is remembered in the world of film, not only in Uganda but internationally as well?
How would I want the name to be remembered?
Yes.
I don't know. I hope they say that he's a guy who came, lived, loved, shared, and served the world wholeheartedly.
Wow.
Yeah, as brief as that. Came, lived, loved, shared, and served the world wholeheartedly.
Wow.
Yeah.
We are into a segment that we just want to thank the people that are watching us live on YouTube, Living Arts. For those that do not know, we're going to be airing or putting every information that is about Harmony of Minds on Living Arts on our platform that we are still developing. Okay, I'm using that word so heavy, but we are still working on our page and on our platforms where we shall be putting that information there so that you can go and check it out. But thank you so much for watching. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your views on Living Arts. Please subscribe, like, follow, and enjoy. Xavier,
Yeah.
I'm not even used to calling you that name. We have like the last segment, we usually have a game that we
Okay.
play.
Okay.
Just a minute. We usually have a game that we play. It's called Fun and Fiery.
Okay.
And so I'm going to talk about something that you would cut, something that you would keep, something that you would create. So I'm going to just give you options. Let me
Okay.
just give an example when it comes to mental health. For example,
Yeah.
silence, pressure, rest. Choose what you can cut, what you can keep, and maybe get something that you can create.
Okay. I pick one thing I can keep,
Yes.
one thing I can cut,
Yes.
and one thing I can what?
And then create something that you could add on the list.
Using those two that.
Yes.
Okay. Say it again. Silence.
Silence, a minute.
Silence,
Pressure, rest.
I'll cut rest.
You would cut rest?
Yeah.
So what would you keep?
I would keep silence. It helps me think.
Silence. What would you create?
Or like something new that I'll create.
In your mental health?
When I use silence, what will I create? I would create
TikTok.
peace of mind.
Peace of mind. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So we are going to go when it comes to film. So we have award shows, late night editing. It's like I know what you're going to say because of our interview. Late night editing, emotional actors on set. What would you cut? What would you keep? What would you create?
Late night what? You said?
Editing,
Uh-huh.
award shows, emotional actors on stage.
Emotional actors on stage.
You would keep.
No. I want to cut the
Award shows.
I'll cut the award shows.
Okay.
I'll keep the late night editing.
Okay.
What will I create? Late night editing usually helps me create fine products.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Oh my goodness, guys, we have come to the end of Harmony of Minds podcast. It has been an amazing experience. I had a lot to learn. I had a lot to reflect because I've had some projects that I have been with director, and so it's great to be someone to listen to something that you've always been observing. So I've been observant of the way he does his things, but listening it from the horse's mouth, it becomes more affirming, more reassuring, and more amazing to listen to. So until next Wednesday, same time.